to you. How's everybody doing today? Good to hear it. Well, my name is Teddy. I'm excited to be your safari driver here through the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. We're going to be off and on our way in just a second. But first, the number one and most important rule. Here on safari, you must remain 100% completely and totally seated at all times. That does mean no standing for any reason whatsoever. That does include the little ones who might be on your lap or on the seat next to you. You got to make sure to stay in those seats. We're going to hit some rough and bumpy roads out here, so as long as everybody's seated, we'll have a great, safe, and fun time. It's time to make like a tree and leaf. We're going to head straight into the reserve and start with the Little Okapi Forest. Now, the animals in this first area are naturally well camouflaged. Their markings help them to blend in with their surroundings. As we swing it around the corner here, keeping an eye on the right-hand side, looking all the way back in the brush, and I see a couple of Okapi hanging out back there. They're really challenging to spot. Well, to stripe, I guess, in this case. Take a look back towards the bamboo. You'll see those black and white stripes sticking out there. Now, the Okapi is so shy that the first time we discovered one was 1901. That is recent for their size. The black and white stripes on their legs make you think zebra. They are not related to the zebra at all. In fact, they are the only living relative of the giraffe. As we swing around the corner here, keeping an eye on things, we're pulling up to a watering hole. Now, these clearings are excellent places to look for some of those more rare animals and birds, like the black rhino. Sadly, there are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the entire world. It's not that their skin is impenetrable. That means nothing in nature can break through it, except for us humans. Take a look straight back through the trees. You're kind of more towards the right-hand side, wandering around quite a bit back there. Now, the black rhino will usually weigh in just around 3,000 pounds and can charge at speeds of about 35 miles an hour. That, of course, means if they're on the move, get out of the way. Now, swinging on around the corner here, I'm going to try and see if I can find any more good views of those rhinos wandering around up ahead. In the meantime, you take a look on your right. See that saddle-billed stork hanging out up there? Tallest storks in Africa, just around 5 feet. There's another one a little bit closer even here, coming up on your right-hand side. And they get their name from the little yellow saddle shape right at the top of their beak. They have a wingspan of about 8 to 9 feet. That is as wide as this truck. Now, the males and females have only one thing different. Their eyes. Females have yellow, males have brown. See, other than that, they are identical. As we're swinging on around the corner up ahead here, I'm not seeing too much more activity. You know, I think it's time to head on over towards the Sapi River. That's a great place to look for hippos.
I love hippos.
Now, when a baby hippo is born, they will weigh in at a very small 85 pounds. Keep a careful eye on your right-hand side. You might be able to find some of those fully grown hippos weighing upwards of 5,000 pounds. Now, the word hippopotamus literally translates into river horse. Actually, closer relatives to whales and pigs than they are to horses. And they love spending time in the water. Perfect way to keep nice and cool to keep from overheating. Keep an eye underneath the water here on your left-hand side and kind of surface it around. Quite a bit of hippos activity. Now, a group of hippos is affectionately called a brood. They can hold their breath underwater for up to 8 minutes at a time, and they do surface while they sleep in order to breathe. Let's see if I can get you a bit of a closer view. In the meantime, looks like a couple pink-backed pelicans roosting right there on the little island. And they only get their pink color during mating season, which is about 1 month out of the year. Swinging around the corner here, take a look. A couple of those hippos swimming around, having some great fun down there. Now, every night these hippos will come up on land to feed. They'll eat up to 150 pounds of vegetation every single day. They don't have the same kind of teeth as we do. They use their tough, broad lips to pull upon the vegetation and chew. Did you know hippos can outrun humans on land? Hanging out down here on your left-hand side, these are Nile crocodiles, some of the most dangerous animals in the world, so I'd suggest stay in those seats. Now, Nile crocodile can snap the bones of anything they get their teeth on with just around 2,000 pounds per square inch of crushing pressure. Now, if they need to, they can stay underwater for up to 2 hours without coming up to breathe. In case you've ever wondered, if you ever see a Nile crocodile with its mouth hanging open, that's actually the only way to release body heat. It's a great way to keep themselves cool. Alrighty, we're seeing Thanks for staying in those seats once again, everybody. I think it's time to head on out of the river. Let's make our way now towards the savannah. Perfect place to look for lions, giraffe, and elephants. And we're also going to talk just a little bit about the ecosystem here as well. Now coming up here on your right hand side, you're about to see a very unusual tree, a baobab. These trees will live without leaves for up to 9 months out of the year. They'll store water in their very thick trunk in order to survive. If you were ever trapped in the wild, shave off a bit of the trunk and squeeze out the wood. You can survive off that water yourself. Now this is my favorite view of the entire reserve, the Serengeti grasslands. They stretch for hundreds of miles across East Africa, and they act as a superhighway for millions of migrating animals every single year. It's all part of the wild Africa that we work so hard to conserve and protect. As we swing on around the corner here, heading on down the hill, start looking for some other very interesting animals. Off in the distance, I did see a couple of those water buck wandering around, so let's see if we can get you a closer views of those ones real quick. Now, just a quick moment ago, I used a very strange word, ecosystem. Ecosystems are awesome. They are what create the landscape here and provide food for the animals. One of the first things you're going to notice if you take a look around is a lot of trees knocked over. That's all the elephants. Now, they love to bulldoze trees. They do it for fun and to get to the leaves that they can't reach. When the trees fall, it spreads out grass seed. Giraffe will eat out from underneath the trees in the area that still stand. They let in the light, so the grass will grow. Zebras and antelope, like the water buck you see off to your right-hand side here, they enjoy the tall grass. Nibblers, like warthog and gazelle, enjoy the much shorter grass. And in a really well-balanced ecosystem, there is plenty of food for everyone. Now, the water buck hanging out here on your right-hand side, kind of a grayish color, are really, really unusual. Now, they secrete this oily substance onto their fur, and it's not that it waterproofs them. When wet, they smell horrible. Now, you don't want to be anywhere near them. It's not that the horrid smell will actually drive away predators and work to protect them. If they're frightened, they're known to screech and run to the closest body of water they can find. They'll dive into the water in order to avoid them. Here on your left-hand side, this is a termite mound. Now, termites build these homes of theirs way up into the air, and they are very much alive. They're tough as rocks, a bit itchy on the outside, kind of like sandpaper. Now, large animals love to rub up against them. It helps to itch their delicate skin. Eventually, those mounds will break and fall. The shorter and flatter mounds that you often see are used as lookout points for predators hiding in the very tall grass. As we're swinging on around the corners of the head here, there's another water buck hanging on your left-hand side. Now, this one has horns on top of its head. That means it's a boy. The other two we just saw, those are girls. They don't have any little horns. As we're swinging on around the corners of the head here, going to keep an eye out, see if we can find any other animals wandering around for you. As we're making our way on around the corner here, going to keep an eye, very careful eye out underneath the trees. See if I can find any other animals coming into view for you here. As I'm moving forward, I'm not having too much luck. You know, I think it's best to head on over towards elephant country, see what we can find wandering on over in those parts for you. Now, as we're moving on forward here, folks, many dangers are facing elephants around the world today, but one of the biggest problems for them has always been poaching. Now, that is illegal hunting. Both male and female elephants do have gorgeous ivory tusks. Sadly, ivory is so extremely valuable, that's what elephants are poached for. Now, another more modern issue that's come up with elephants recently is humans and elephants living too close together. Human development moves farther and farther into the wild every day and takes over the areas which these elephants used to roam. Now, a new project that's being worked on in Africa is actually using bees to keep those elephants away. Believe it or not, elephants are frightened with them. So they create netting and different things to keep those elephants out of the areas where humans live. Now, it's important to recycle the land as much as possible, leave plenty of room for everyone in the years to come. As we're moving through here, I'm not seeing a lot of activity by this water knoll, but I do know another one to look for up ahead. Ooh. roadblock. Yeah, looks like it washed out or something. Alright, well, we're going to do a little bit of off-roading, it looks like. Now, a little bit about elephants, it's really cool. Before a baby elephant is born, mama elephant will be pregnant for 22 months. That's right, just under 2 years. The childhood of an elephant is usually about 13 to 15 years and is the second longest in the world. Now, the only longer is, of course, us humans. Most people don't know that elephant herds are matriarchal, meaning that the females are responsible for running things. So, of course, when the males get older, they will go live by themselves. Oh, sweet. It's a bridge. It's old, it's rickety, and it's falling apart. I say we try it out. Make sure to stay in those seats for me. Keep your fingers crossed for good luck. I'll go poli-poli, and that's slow and steady. Ooh, that was a bad choice. Did I lose anybody back there? Did I lose anything? No? Okay, good. Gotta make sure I never go that way again. Now the real question, who didn't keep their fingers crossed? You're looking a bit guilty to me back there. Now, whoa. Okay, this is really cool. Coming up here on your left-hand side, take a look on your right. You see all this red clay in the wall? A lot of tusk marks, a lot of footprints here. Elephants love to dig this red clay out and eat it. That's a very important part of their diet. It contains minerals that they can't get from anywhere else. Here on the reserve, our researchers have been tracking elephants. They've been learning everything they can about vocal communication. And that is, of course, how elephants talk to one another and what they talk about. I do see some activity off in the distance. Let's see if we can get you a little bit closer here. Hopefully get you some really cool views. I'm picking up a weird radio signal. Hold on. See if I can find some music for you. I'm just going to let you enjoy it. Well, it sounds like that radio is starting to fade out a little bit here, folks, but I hope you enjoyed the views. Elephants wandering around. Greater Flamingo hanging out right there. As we're moving forward, I see some very familiar black and white coming up along here on your left-hand side. See if we can get you a close view of some zebras in just a quick second. As we're moving through here, going to keep a careful eye. We're swinging into big cat country. We're also going to look for the fastest land mammal in the world. Maybe we get lucky. We'll find a couple of cheetahs wandering around. Now, cheetahs can travel at speeds of just around 60 miles an hour in a full sprint. They can't run at that speed for a very long period of time. They do overheat very easily. As we're swinging on around the corner here, I'm going to keep an eye out for those cheetahs. You take a look at the zebras wandering around over here. Now, naturally, zebras are black with white stripes. If you take a look at the black base color on their nose, you can tell. Now, that lady right there, she's keeping a very close eye on those zebras wandering around. Deep breaths, you're fine.
This might be wild America.
Now, one thing most people don't know about cheetahs is that they are primarily daytime hunters. They have incredible eyesight. It's a little bit better than humans, actually. So they like to hunt in those daylight hours. Now, normally when the sun is going down, this is their favorite time as they blend in really well with their surroundings. Now, zebras have a really good sense of predators in the area, so those cheetahs are keeping their distance, of course. Cheetahs, no way can take down one of those zebras, even when working together as a group. As we're swinging on around the corner here, we're going to keep moving through big cat country. I'm going to start looking for some really large cats, a pride or family of lions. Most people don't know this. Lions are often very hard to find. They are inactive. That's lying around sleeping or sometimes just doing nothing for up to 20 hours out of every day. They can be really hard to track. Let's swing on around to the other side of the rocks here. We might be able to find some for you. I'm also going to try and get that sun out of your eyes. Ooh, that's a pain. The lion pride or family will consist of a dominant male along with one or multiple females. Female lions much more aggressive than the males. They do most regular hunting. Males are responsible for protecting the other lions in the pride. Moving on around to this side of the rocks, I'm not seeing a lot of lion activity. But that might not be a good thing. Might be they're off hunting somewhere. Hold on a second. Yeah, not seeing too much going on at the base of the rocks. I don't know if you guys see anything, but it looks a little sparse to me. Let's keep moving here. Spending too much time near the Okapi makes me a little bit nervous, especially when that sun is going down. As we're moving forward here on your left-hand side, there's a lot of burrows. So this is an interesting place to look for some really unusual animals. A lot of animals like to dig these burrows. They back into them and face outward towards predators in most cases. Now, burrows provide really, really good protection for some of those smaller animals that have a harder time protecting themselves. On your left-hand side here, these are ostrich eggs. They're the largest eggs laid in the world, just around 3 pounds each. They have a really tough outer shell. They can survive without being carefully guarded. As we're moving on around the corner here, we're about to head into an area of the reserve that we've been working on a lot recently called a reintroduction program. As we're moving through here, folks, reintroduction, very important programs. These aim to bring animals back into an area of the reserve where the animal has been missing for quite some time. In this case, we're keeping a sharp eye out for the addax, that's ADDAX. They're kind of a whitish brown animal with these long wavy horns on top of their head. A couple of them wandering around up here on your right-hand side. Now, the addax is a desert-dwelling antelope. If they need to, they can survive their entire life without even a sip of water, and they get all the liquid that they need from the vegetation that they eat. Sadly, they are almost extinct. There's believed to be less than about 300 of them left in the wild, and only 1,000 or so in private reserves and in collections around the world. Now, by working to protect the addax, we're studying them, learning more about how we can see those numbers increase. And you know what? Judging by the cliffs here, it actually looks like we're making our way back towards the warden's post. I think I'm going to drop you off for just a quick few moments here. Now's the perfect time to change into those hiking boots, though. Just a short 5-mile walk to the village. Now, the word harambe does mean working together. Here on the reserve, we work with the researchers, the locals, and the animals. We do our best to provide a safe and protected environment for everyone. Now, animals all around the world face dangers they never faced before, whether it's a loss in population for reasons we don't understand, or humans and animals just living way too close together. Now, it's more important than ever before to protect wild animals all around the world. Once again, folks, my name is Teddy. It was a pleasure to be your driver today. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves out there. We got some great views of those animals. Hope you took some incredible pictures and maybe even learned a little bit as well. Now is the perfect time to gather any of those personal belongings, and in just a few moments here, I should have you off and on your way. Now, moving through here, I'm going to give the wardens a call real quick. Let them know we're headed their direction.